We are here with Juno. Super excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Juno is a Taylor artist, guitar player,
Yes.
teacher,
Yes.
and actress or actor.
Yes.
Okay.
I juggle.
You juggle?
You juggle.
Really? No, I don't.
Is there anything else you need us to add?
Are
to
you
the
like
title?
one of those people though that juggles like on water skis,
No,
but
I'm one of
holding
those-
the rope with their other foot?
I'm one of those people that pray you never ask me to prove it. I'm one of those people.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
We're glad
Prove
to have
it.
you on.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
And
Thank
we're
you,
also
Tim.
here with Tim Godwin. Tim
Y'all
Godwin
remember
is our
Tim Godwin?
Tim is the man.
Hey guys,
director of
By the way,
artist
you
relations.
sound good. He doesn't have headphones on.
So humble.
so I can't
he-
tell.
No, but you really sound good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice voice, Tim.
That's awesome. So, yeah, we're just here to chat a little bit. Juno's going to be doing some video stuff with us. We're very excited about that. I don't know if Jay, you want to speak to that real quick?
Yeah, we're actually it's we're always asked, why don't we represent more artists on video? Well, the truth of the matter is artists are busy.
It's true.
and we're in San Diego and we have to get them here. So I think we've been planning this, Juno, right,
Yes.
for like
A minute.
A
And I
month?
did pass 3 coyotes on the way here. I do want to point that out.
3
I
Coyotes?
was like, is that a tumble of wheat? What is
We
that?
are in the sticks here in San Diego. We are
Yeah.
East County, San Diego, El Cajon. It's
It was
it's
like,
not your
me.
it's not
Look me
your
in the face.
beachfront San Diego.
Yeah.
it is not your beachfront San Diego.
But make great guitars. They do that.
So tell us a little bit about your background, how you came to all of the different acting that you're doing and touring. You know, what started it all for you?
Man, so first of all, I kind of have a very non-conventional way of coming to music. The first time I played was 23 years old. And the reason why I talk about that is because I think most people have like been shredding since they was like 2,
Right.
and they really getting on my nerves. I'm tired of them boys. I'm like, dude, like, can you give me a year to catch up? But no, it's just such my story. I came to the guitar really accidentally through this 15-year-old heroin addict that changed my life. And what happened was I was a drug therapist at a rehab facility,
Oh, okay.
and he was my patient, and he was a guitar player, and that's all he wanted to do. So long story short, I said in exchange for the program, teach me a couple chords, and that was about seven and a half years ago, and I've been playing ever since then.
All over the world.
Yeah, and I've been around the world like a couple times. Like I made a bucket list and had to like remake another bucket list for my other bucket list. But it's just been amazing. I never imagined that I would ever even leave Chicago, let
Okay.
alone go around the whole world and meet the amazing people that I met, worked with amazing people.
Yeah.
And all through guitar, something that it's so small. It seems so small and so simple, but the guitar has literally changed my life and changed the quality of my life.
Did you have any previous music experience before the guitar?
Let me just
or-
say this. Every black person that go to church, yes. The answer to that is always yes. Whatever they say, just give them the eye and they'll be like, oh, yeah, you mean the choir that I did my whole life? So basically, yeah, of course. I was the little black kid in the choir. I was the person that my mama slapped me in the back of the head because the dude didn't show up to play the organ, so I had to go up there.
Oh, wow.
That's just what it is. So
Okay.
it's one of those things that, that's such a huge part of our culture. But I never had any training, it's nothing you just hear. It was just like, in this moment, I'm up here.
Yeah.
But that was really it.
Do you think that helped you in your approach to the guitar? Or?
Not necessarily. I think the guitar for me was a very it was like a system that I
Right.
kind of looked at it as. And it was very just like mechanical for me at first, like something to do with my hands. I wasn't even thinking of it as a musical thing, really. It was just like, oh, cool. I push here and, something to do. It's like a crossword puzzle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was just like in London in like 2002, like, oh, wow, this got far,
What was the first song or chords or anything
Oh
that you learned?
man! So this kid at this rehab facility, the couple songs he taught me was "Purple Haze." This is the
Nice.
first song,
Okay.
Okay.
and I remember him saying, "You won't be able to do this, but I'll show you anyway."
That's an ambitious first song.
He made me mad. I was like, "Hold on, we doing that E thing, the E9 with the open E, other E." Anyways, so yeah, it was rough.
I still do that.
Everybody does, and everyone acts like they invented that chord. Can we please stop? Stop.
Tim invented that chord.
I did.
Tim's holding his hand right now in a way that could play that chord if the guitar was
right.
here in front of him.
That's right.
But yeah, so Purple Haze at the time, just like random BB King licks.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, just like bam, 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 bam. And Marty Schwartz was like literally he was like the pioneer, which is funny.
Marty Schwartz is raising an entire new generation of guitar players.
I would be nothing without Marty Schwartz. Can we get that on tape somewhere?
You're not the first person who said that.
I'm not even playing. I started with like Marty Schwartz licks, and I mean, I took it and ran with it. Like,
oh, wow.
I took it very seriously. Like when he gave homework, I really like did it, and I really took it seriously, and I really wanted to understand the blues.
Wow. Yeah.
And I feel like at the time, he was one of the first guys on YouTube who was putting out like really accurate information about like systems, not just like, remember this lick, but he was like, okay, if you're on the 1 and you go back 3 half steps, now you're on the minor, you're on the 6, which is the relative minor. And I understood that for the first time. Before it was just like, I was just kind of guessing.
Right.
And he was the first person that let me realize, like, wait a minute, this isn't guessing. There's a system, and like people are like having conversations about things that they all understand. So let me start researching that, and that's when whoa,
whole new world opened up for you.
I can show you the world. I mean, it was just like, don't you dare close your eyes. Like E flat, B flat, You know?
So what got you from learning to then, perform? Was it performing out, or was it recording yourself, or what was it?
This is the funny thing. I didn't even know, again, when I was doing this, YouTube wasn't really that big. So I didn't think I really understood like who could see. I mean, I did, but I didn't get, like viral wasn't even a word yet. Mm-hmm. It was just like people posting stuff. And I just kind of, appreciated the videos I saw from Marty and like Justin Cinderscore and Jairus Mosey. I'm talking about like YouTube guitar players.
Right.
Wait, but you learned when you were 23?
Yeah.
You're only 24. That was a year ago.
That was 10 minutes ago. My birthday was 10 minutes ago.
So you haven't been playing that long.
It's been 10 minutes.
But you act as if YouTube wasn't the small thing. YouTube's big, right?
Well, you have to understand, there's a progression of guitar videos and like that whole culture.
Right.
Now it's almost like overwhelming. But you have to understand, I was on there when like 7 years ago. It was not the way it was now. It wasn't like 5 million people teaching every song that comes out. It was like 6 dudes, legit, holding it down.
Yeah, we had Marty on, and he told us he has over 1 billion views.
Yeah, but it was very different. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. It was more like a community, and now it's like literally people get on there and like teach video. Their guitar isn't even tuned. I'm like, bro, are we in dad blab? Like, what is this? So it's like there was a really sorry. You'll get that later on your drive home. But my point is, I really came up as like a self-taught, but I really want to like pay homage to the people that I learned from.
Right.
Which were like just cats in their living room posting videos. It was not like this deep Juilliard thing. Like,
right. Wow.
Yeah. And then like literally I remember very clearly listening to BB King and being like, I wonder how he did that. Like I learned about a bend from literally hearing him do it on a real song and me rewinding it and trying to figure out how to make my guitar do that. I never saw anybody do a bend. I never grew up around that. It was completely foreign to me. So I think in a way, that's why the way I play sometimes is kind of like nothing. It's like my own thing because I don't really know the rules, to be honest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So and then you started yourself posting lessons, or was that later on?
Yeah, I started posting lessons because I was always like, I want to give back. Marty's doing his part. I really told myself, I was like, if I ever get good enough, I'm going to give back. And so I told myself that I was going to be at the intermediate level, teaching intermediate lessons. And there's this player named Dan Cantor who was Justin Bieber's MD and guitar player for like years. Okay. Amazing player. And he would always play these versions of Justin Bieber's like acoustic live songs that I always thought were so different than anybody I had ever saw play. It was very rhythmic and full and like kind of like a piano player accompanying him. And I used to learn his versions of the songs and then teach people how to play the Dan Cantor versions. And those are the videos that started going viral.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that even means. Back then it was just a lot of people were watching them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people also being like, you suck. That's not D flat. That's E flat suspended. I was like, dang, my bad.
So you're learning, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me write that down.
I bet you got some hate, right?
Oh, yeah.
People on the internet have some.
Yeah. And, it really made me really insecure at first because I felt like I didn't have the right to teach guitar because I didn't know what I was talking about. Because every time I would try and say something, people were like, well, that's not right. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, well, I'm just saying that. Then I was just like, hey, this is what works for me.
Well, and sometimes that's the best way to learn is to turn around and then try and teach that to somebody else. It reinforces what you've learned.
Yeah. But I really kind of like took all these different styles off YouTube and players in real, like B.B. King and Jimi Hendrix and John Mayer. And I mean, just like, even like Janis Joplin, and like, you know, you go to the restaurant and it's the guy there that never made it playing, and he's amazing. And I learned from him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, I'd be recording them people and be like, look, brother, I'm gonna make sure somebody hear your licks, I promise. These licks are so good, like, you know.
Well, that's awesome.
I learn from anywhere.
So picking up guitar to, you know, teaching lessons on YouTube, and then, you know, how did you, what was the next kind of big?
So then I became obsessed with John Mayer, which is hilarious. I think
everyone goes through a John Mayer phase.
But everyone tries to act like they don't.
Legitimately, though, he's incredible.
He is incredible.
I think I saw him for the first time back in the day, like on Ellen. And I'm like, who is this guy?
I mean, he's one of those people that you could think whatever you want about him, but when he plays, I bet you shut up and listen. So I became obsessed with him and Quincy Jones. And you know, they went to Berkeley, so I was like, I got to go to Berkeley.
Oh,
I had no idea they were like requirements to get into Berkeley. You feel me?
Yeah.
So anyways, I was just ambitious, you know. I really wanted to get into that school. So I didn't really know how to read music or do any of that stuff. But I kind of like for 3 months just like got a book from my local music store on how to read music. I learned just the basics. I mean, it was like a book, like a beginning book.
Wow.
I went through and Googled scales and I learned about, Mixolydian and what that means, the 5 and how that's related to the major scale. And, you know, I started kind of putting stuff together. Anyways, got into Berkeley.
Wow.
It was like a miracle. I don't even know how I got in there.
Do you have to do an audition video?
You have to audition, and it's 3 sweaty blues musicians.
Really?
Yeah. Asking me a bunch of questions that I did not know.
Oh, okay.
And I finally just said that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, well, play something. So playing, he's like, okay, well, you got to learn yourself. So fine. Got into Berkeley, the best day of my life. Then I dropped out. I hated it.
Really? Why did you hate it?
Because it was overwhelming, and it was like, I'm into music for like emotional reasons. Like I can cry right now thinking about Free Fallin'. Like, I swear to you. Like, it's just how I am. And Berkeley felt very like educational and mechanical and robotic. And like, every time you're in this, these are your options. When I was just like, well, what about the things you're not supposed to do? Like, that's cooler to me.
Right.
You know, so now I appreciate Berkeley, but at the time, it was definitely a struggle for me. I did not fit in at all. Because they were all like brilliant, you know, what I thought. And then I was just like, you know what? I really just want to play. Like, this is giving me a headache. I don't really know what key we're in. Can we just play? So I dropped out of Berkeley. And I was just like, you know what?
But you got in.
I got in.
There you go.
I started posting videos on YouTube of me playing covers to my favorite songs. And then I started doing solos and doing stuff like that and just posting like little 1 minute, 2 minute clips. And none of them really went like viral. But people started kind of picking up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, in about 3 months, I was like, I'm going to do it every day until I get a call. And I went through a very rough time during that. Like, it was rough. I'm talking about, woo. And I was like, I'm going home to Chicago. I'm done with this. Go to get on a plane. Look at my phone. I got an email from Rob Lewis. And the title of the email was Fifth Harmony Tour.
Oh, okay.
And my heart was just like, my hand was shaking. Because I was like, I had any affiliation with the music business.
Did you know Fifth Harmony at the time?
No, I didn't know anything. Before that, Berkeley was nothing, just me being in Chicago.
Okay.
So I didn't even know who Rob Lewis was. I had to like Google everything. I'm one of them people that's like, okay, hey, what's up, Rob Lewis?
YouTube and Google love you right
yes, they do. I'm giving them a lot of...
They do. They love you, which is totally fine.
Let me shout myself out, Rock with Juno. I'm promoting everybody else.
Going from kind of a, I guess you could say, bedroom playing guitar player to all of a sudden on a stage with, you know, all the equipment and everything like that. How did you navigate all of that?
Oh, you thought it was smooth? That's cute. Well, you know, it's funny. I'm hard on myself, but actually we had 3 days to get ready for this tour. I had never heard any of their music before, ever.
Okay.
Because I wasn't listening to, I was in my zone. I was listening to Stevie Wonder. Like, I wasn't listening to like current music. I was kind of studying the old music.
Yeah.
So I wasn't caught up. So I literally never heard their music. Had to learn all their songs, but it's not, when you're torn, it's not just like you kind of get the idea. No, you have a very specific part that comes on the Andy of the 4 after the, like, you better know your stuff, you know, or the next person will gladly replace you very quickly. Yeah. It's just how the industry is. So, you know, that really helped me pay attention to details and, you know, really become obsessed with like studying records.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the bass stopped right here for some reason, and then he came back. Why? You know what I'm saying? And because as a guitar player, I want to know, how should I respond to that? Or is it important at all? You know what I'm saying? Like really trying to communicate and interact with other musicians instead of just being, when I first started, it was a very selfish experience as a guitar player, just waiting for my solo, just being 100%, like waiting for my solo. But
most
then
guitar
I got mature.
players are like that.
Yeah, and trying to be so like got all these pedals and like, bro, oh my God, you're the third guitarist, like you're the third string. What are you doing?
Constantly turning their amp up every little bit during the show.
But I did that too. You know what I'm saying? I did that too, and then I started to really want it to become a part of the movement and a part of the moment and the mission. Yeah. And that's so much bigger than any of us individually, you know. So
that's great. So and then so that you toured for a couple of years there, and then
I just started getting calls. I did Staples Center with Machine Gun Kelly. I did the Oscars with Estelle. I just did so much random stuff. Seven Streeter, who writes, you know, for Ariana Grande and all these, she's doing her own stuff. And I did the ASCAP. You know, in between that, I also did like very important one-offs. I did this huge charity event at Staples Center with Zed and Camila Cabello.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, it happened so fast. I went from playing in my room, posting stuff on YouTube, literally like trying to get Marty Schwartz attention to answer like, what was that one chord? He still ain't responded to me. Can anybody reach him?
Yeah.
He's very difficult.
Can anybody, Tim, do you know
he's
this
got
boy?
like three, he's got it, his agent has an agent, I think. Yeah.
His manager has a manager.
Yeah, and it's that hat. I'm just like, you know,
has a stylist. I mean, he's
people that wear hats like that, you ain't gonna be able to reach them. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
And it's all cocked to the side. He ain't answering emails.
Hey, you guys.
He ain't answering emails.
So one recent thing too is you landing a spot on Empire, and Fox's Empire. Tell us about that. How did that come about?
Oh my God. So I was at the Grammys stunting so hard. Like I looked good. Can you say that on the podcast? Is that illegal?
I don't know.
I was so fly. This random designer like whipped me on my outfit like in the air. Anyways, so I'm at the Grammys and literally get this Facebook tag. Again, the internet. I'm telling y'all. And I want to just point out, this was a person, like, you know how you've been on the internet, it's the same comments? It's not, I've never met this person, but they've just been following me for years. And I know them because I've looked at their profile and I feel like I know them even though I've never met them. But they tagged me in this thing of someone saying, looking for a black female guitar player from Chicago with rocker vibe. I was like,
did you raise your hand?
I was just like, can she have dreadlocks? I'm like, nah, I was like, that's me. But yeah, so no, so I was just really, you know, to be honest, I don't know why I never think I'm gonna get stuff. I'm always just like, there's no way, because I mean, that's huge. You know, I just did not feel like, you know, whatever. But I'm always like, I'm gonna just try because that sounds perfect for me, and I'm now starting to understand what I bring.
Even at the Grammys, you thought that?
I think that's, to be honest with you, I think that's what makes me always work so hard. I'm never, ever, ever complacent or like comfortable. I'm always trying to get better. Yeah. And I'm looking at people who are like legends and icons. So I'll never measure up to that. So even if I'm at the Grammys with them. And I'm sitting in the back. So like, don't be too impressed with yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, stay humble, but also like, honestly, not like a fake humble, like, no, seriously, I'm surrounded by legends.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so this person that's been following you for years reaches out to you.
No, they just tagged me. Didn't even reach out. They just tagged me in a post, and I looked at the post. It was so bootleg, like, and I was just like, okay. So I didn't even whatever. So they inboxed me like, hey, could you send me a picture of yourself? So I'm like, bro, go on my profile and get a picture. Like, I was annoyed. Like, okay, so I sent the picture.
Okay.
And then he's like, you know, they'll be in touch with you. So I get this email like, Empire Casting, are you available tomorrow, you know, for an audition? And I was like, you know, actually I was going to be in the area. I was just, you know what, Chicago was on my way to LA. Don't you got to pass Chicago to get to LA? From New York? Yeah, I'm going to be there. So I went to New York. Everyone there had, you know, the blacked out, black rocker vibe, black nails, blah, blah, blah. I was in all my colors.
It's you and a bunch of people.
Yep, I had a tailor. This is a true story. All of these girls, because they were, like, it's like they went to, like, Antarctica. Every girl they could find that played guitar. Right. I mean, girls I'd never even seen before. And I thought I knew, like, every female player. I mean, and they all had, like, I'm like, hey, girl. They all had, like, black nails, and they all had their own little amp, you know? And, I mean, I was like, dang. I walked in like, dang, I'm not prepared. I had a Taylor guitar.
Okay.
Because that's what I play.
Well, you were in good hands then.
I was hoping so. I'm gonna tell you the truth. In my mind, I was like, I just want to go in there with what I'm comfortable with, and I love Taylor guitars. I love this guitar. It's like the 814 CE.
Yeah.
Like it's just the guitar I play, and you're supposed to audition with a rock song. So I play Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train, on acoustic. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just thought it would stand out. I thought it'd be different.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? And they loved. They were like, wow, it was a very like broken up. You know what I'm saying? It was very like broken down and just like very vibey and like R&B and like, you know, just different and again, just going with my gut of always trying to stand out and be different instead of going with what any person going to a rocker interview. Of course, you bring a Strat, you bring the amp, you bring. And I was like, nah, I'm going with a Taylor acoustic guitar because if you can't make this sound good, you can't play.
So now all of a sudden you're an actress.
Yeah, I'm Juno the actress.
Was playing music and acting part of the audition?
Yeah, I mean, you had to read through lines, and it's funny, I forget about that because that's so second nature to me. Like, I feel like I was an actress first. You know how many times I got out of gym? I was like, I'm not playing kickball today. I'm sick. What do you have? Bronchitis?
There you go.
Any other questions? Like, I got out of anything. I was an actress my whole life. So,
Nice.
yes, and it's cool because it's like the music business and the acting field are like two different worlds. But Empire is a music show. So it's the acting field simulating the music business. So it's like Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard walking around.
She's so great.
Oh, she's so
She's the
cool.
best.
Yeah, she's the best.
I watched that. I'm a fan of the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you Team Jamal or Team Hakeem? We need to address this.
Oh man, don't put me there yet. I'm not caught up actually to like I'm not.
See how he tried to get out of that?
No,
He ain't ready to commit.
I'm way more of
It's
a
like
team.
Biggie and Tupac. Like,
Can
you
I-
got to commit. Okay.
Can I be real? I've always been more Team Jamal.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just love him. He's so nice. And like everyone just has so much fun on set. And what's cool is not like, it was so like loose and natural. Like they were just like, there was never like anyone telling me what to do. It was just like, hey, be natural. What would you normally do in this situation? We're going to put you in the studio. What would happen in the studio?
So it's almost like you get a little bit of a special, not I would say special treatment, but a little bit of leeway because of the fact that you're coming in as a musician.
Yeah.
They're just letting you kind of do what you want.
They're letting me do my thing, but there are lines and, you know, I work with a lot of people and, you know, the lines were just like accurate to what would really happen. So in a way, you know, it works out great, you know.
And I would imagine there's a lot of sitting around on set, waiting,
Yes.
playing
Oh,
guitar. You probably get to play a lot of guitar on set.
Do you film most of it in Chicago?
In Chicago,
Right.
and it was so cold. They had literally like soup tents out. Like you would be walking on the way to another tent, and there was like soup on the way, like a guy like walking next to you,
Just
like
to keep
feeding
you
soup.
warm.
I have.
And they had like warmers, like
I've
Wow.
seen some crazy filming in Chicago because living there for 12 years. They'll do things where they'll bring, like, they're going to shoot a daylight scene at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, and they do these huge
And
lights.
they do these huge lights, and you're like,
Wow.
It's so confusing when you get out because you think it's still daytime.
yeah.
But the light like this, no, you don't even understand. It looks like they purchased the sun.
Is that because they want to be able to make a daylight without having to deal with people during the day? Is that what
Well,
they're
it's
shooting?
because you only have so many amount of daylight.
So you're
so
just
much amount.
extending the
yeah,
daylight.
so if you use only the real sun, every day ends at 5 o'clock. But like the industry don't close at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the sun in here, bam, we got to back up, holler.
So yeah, they would always shoot at this barber shop underneath my house or by my house, right? So it was like every show, all the Chicago Fire, Chicago
Right.
PD, like all these shows.
That was the barbershop.
It was the barbershop,
Wow.
and I'm sure they've done some Empire stuff in there. Anyway, it's called Joe's Barbershop, by the way. Great.
Nice.
Okay.
Been there for like 51 years or something. Anyway, and you know, the front of my house would just light up like daylight at 10 o'clock, trying to go to sleep.
And they're like
And that's
filming.
not going to happen. I'm like, the sun's out.
Yeah, that's funny.
What was it like seeing yourself on? Because it's one thing to watch your own performance videos and try and get better, but watching yourself on television, what was that like?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I looked at it as like the same in a way because what I'm always striving to do on stage is how to like not act like I'm playing or act like I'm enjoying myself, but actually like get into a zone where I am being what I'm trying to put off.
That's great.
So instead of being like, okay, here comes the chorus, so let me jump. Like it's a difference between that and you really being excited.
Yeah.
And jumping because you're excited. Okay. And so I try and like on set, I was really trying to like get into character because like some of these things were like really intense. I was like, okay, wait a minute. So Jamal Daddy just killed who? Wait. okay, so do I know about the murder? Like, I'm really trying to put it together. And like, I'm at home and I'm just so thorough. Like, it was like 50 pages, but my lines was only like 1 page. Oh, I needed the context. So I had to read the whole 50 pages like twice. Cause I was like,
do you have to sign like NDAs and stuff so that you can't tell the story?
Yes, before it comes out. Yeah.
Do you know what happens next?
I don't.
Dang.
Honestly. But you're not even caught up.
I know,
He ain't even caught up.
but
You don't even have a side yet.
I can't.
You haven't picked a side yet. How can you ask about the future?
Jamal, but
Come on.
Hakeem's
Jeez.
pretty funny.
He's so cool though. Like you can't give
The
it.
whole
It's like, you know, yeah.
and Terrence Howard's Terrence Howard.
Nice.
Right,
J-
he plays
J-
Taylor.
Terrence Howard's a boss.
Terrence Howard plays Taylor.
Yes, he plays guitars, and I actually asked him about that. I was like, man, like, how long have you been playing? He's like, my whole life I've just kind of always noodled around and
Oh, wow.
being in the arts, you know, it was just kind of like, you know, around him. And I've seen, like, he's pretty good. He plays a lot of, like, Spanish guitar and, like,
Oh, wow.
that finger picking kind of stuff.
So, wrapping up here, do you have any advice for anybody that was, you know, in your shoes 7 years ago or whatever,
Yes.
starting out now? What would you
Good
give them?
question.
You know what
Cameron.
I would do? I'm going to be honest with you. This is what, if I were them. If you are not on the internet, you don't exist. Stop lying to yourself and saying, no. You don't post videos because you're scared. And that would be my advice to me, the old me. And I'm not saying that applies to anybody else, but that was me. A lot of the stuff that I wanted, I was not doing everything I could to put myself out there because I was afraid of the feedback. But guess what? The feedback was all right.
Yeah.
And I fixed it. And now I'm better because of that. So my advice would be whatever you want to do, don't wait for someone to hire you to do that. Do that on your own and put it out there so that people can see how you do that. And the people that are looking for you will find you. You don't have to go viral.
That's really great. We actually started a new little campaign on our Instagram feed. And if you hashtag Taylor Guitars Approved, we look at it every single day. Doesn't matter who you are. If we like it, we're going to post it. We're going to share it. We're going to share it for you. So check out our stories, check out whatever. But Taylor Guitars Approved, we love that. We love that story. Just put yourself out there.
Yeah, put it out.
It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fumble over something. If you're doing it, you're doing it. And other people need to see you.
Before we leave, you know, how can people find you on the internet and get into your music, and what can they look for in the coming
Yes,
months?
so I'm actually going to be working on my first EP solo project this year. I'm so excited about that.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm working with like all my heroes. It's just like unreal. So I'm going down to Nashville and doing that for the next few months. So be looking out for that. Juno the guitarist on social media, YouTube. I put out lessons. I'm still trying to compensate for Marty's free lessons, so I'm still putting out lessons to pay Marty back. So
I think
everybody's-
that's awesome that it's not just Juno, it's Juno the guitarist.
It's Juno
I
the
think that's cool.
guitarist, because some people are like, "Oh, she's an amazing bass player," and I'm like, "Thank you so much." So Juno the guitarist.
Yeah, awesome.
So-
Well, thank you so much for being on the From the Factory podcast. We love to have you, and we look forward to seeing all the stuff that you're going to be putting out.
Thank you so much.